Urban Sigma! Where are you?
So, what happened to Urban Sigma? What is up, you beautiful people? My name is Rito, and I've gotten this question over and over again for the past several months that what has really happened to Urban Sigma? Now, if you don't remember, but I did a challenge called the First Sales Sprint. It was done towards the end of June 2018. The First Sales Sprint Challenge, this is day number 1. And it was actually a successful challenge. The goal of the challenge was to get a sale after opening a store in just a 7-day period. And we were able to do it live on camera right here on this channel. I launched the Urban Sigma store, I selected the products and even launched the ads for the products. And the product that I was advertising was primarily a $200 plus product. And we ended up getting a sale on the first day. It was an amazing moment. Just a few hours after we launched the ad, we got that first sale. And since then, that store had actually crossed over $1,000. But it's closed down now. Why is that? So in order to understand what happened to Urban Sigma, it's important to realize that why I did the challenge. Now, the reason I did the challenge was because I wanted to show that dropshipping was still active. It was working in 2018. It is still working right now. It will keep working for a long time. But there were people who were like, dropshipping is dead and you can't really get a sale. You have to work really hard to get the first sale. And I was like, let me prove all you guys. And that's what I did. So that's why I created a brand new store, and I didn't want it to do for myself. To make the challenge even more tougher, I wanted to select a student. So I asked in the doer group, my premium membership group where I interact with my doers, who wants to get involved in the challenge like this. We got a lot of responses, and I selected Nigel from that group to actually take part in the challenge. He was a wonderful sport all through the challenge. But the thing is, the store that I was building for him was his store. So my role was to just set up the store, to launch the ads and just complete that 7-day sprint, that first sales sprint, and then hand it over to him. And the challenge was overwhelmingly successful, not just for Nigel, of course, because he was in profit. He had crossed $1,000 in just a few days of that challenge being ended, but also for a lot of my students, you guys. I got hundreds of comments and messages from so many people all over, like on my Facebook, on Instagram, even on the YouTube channel. Just so many people who had gotten their first sale thanks to that challenge. And it was actually amazing to see how mindsets could be shifted just by showing people how exactly things are done. So the challenge was successful, but why wasn't the store successful? Now, I've heard from several sources that Nigel closed down that store because he was getting a lot of traffic from my followers. So you guys were visiting Nigel's store and his pixel was getting diluted, and because he was on a tight budget, as I told you earlier, like, it was not my money being spent on that store, it was his budget, his credit card, and he didn't really have like a huge budget to begin with. So in order to actually handle all of that traffic, to handle the pixel dilution, and to handle all the competition that was rising, because everything was done live on camera, because all the products were selected live on camera, so it was getting really tough for Nigel. And he wanted to do something different, because in order to be effective, he needed to open up a store that nobody else knew about. Well, that's what dropshipping is generally all about. Nobody goes around revealing their stores. What I've done with Common Panda is one big exception, but that is one big reason why other YouTubers don't really reveal their stores. No wonder very few YouTubers have actually attempted something like this. That goes to show that running such a public challenge can actually be pretty risky. Now, I personally have been blessed with Common Panda, but not everyone has the skills or the budget to handle such a public store like I have been able to do. Now, case in point, most people already know my blockbuster winners. I see a lot of people. I have my Lucky Orange app installed so I can get to see a lot of visitor recordings. So I know that hundreds of people visit the store every day just trying to find my next product, and it's been happening for months and months. In the previous video, I announced that we completed the 1-year anniversary where we did $300,000 on that store, but it wasn't really easy. So I had to be very careful with my product selection, very careful with my budgets and my ads, and also I had to add several different different products, not just the ones that I was advertising, but several other products as well. Because if I advertise only those products that I had added to the store, then everybody would know what products I was advertising. So I had to be a little bit sneaky. I had to play around. I had to on some products that worked really well for me in the first few days, other people got to know about it, and then it just got saturated pretty quickly. I had to move on to the next product. But because I had a budget, so I could handle all the complexities that comes with running such a public store. But Nigel, on the other hand, is a completely different story because he's just gotten started. He's pretty much like a beginner to intermediate kind of a marketer. He does have knowledge, but he also needed a budget in order to overcome all these complexities, which he did not have. So in order to be profitable with dropshipping, a little birdie told me that he's actually opened up another store. I'm not really sure, I can't confirm what store it is or whether he's actually opened it or not, but I've heard from several different sources that he has opened up another store, and that is of course not a public store. So yeah, the reason Nigel closed down Urban Sigma, even though it was such an amazing store, I love the branding that I'd done with Urban Sigma, the logo, as well as the entire the Urban Revolution branding. So I really liked all of that, but all of that is now gone. But not really, because the videos are still here. So if you haven't watched that series, definitely check it out, because the knowledge still holds true. What I've taught in the first sales sprint, the 7 days were intense and they were rock solid, and the strategies that I taught in that 7-day sprint works even today. You just have to be careful not to leak your store to thousands of other dropshippers. Now I do respect Nigel's decision. It was of course his store, it was his budget, so he took the decision. That's what you have to do as entrepreneurs. Decide what's working for you and what's not working for you, and then take the next step. Well, in my case, my journey continues with Common Panda and my other stores. And for anyone that asks what happened to Urban Sigma in the future, just remember, it was a case study store for a challenge that was a super hit and helped hundreds, if not thousands of people get their first sale. And the videos are still out there, the knowledge and the learning is still out there for you to take if you have not watched the first sales sprint. Thank you so much for watching this video, guys. If you watched the first sales sprint and did get your first sale, make sure to hit the thumbs up right below. And yeah, just take out some time and subscribe, and make sure you hit the bell icon to get all notifications. Until next time, okay, tata, bye bye.